Hi, Shauna. I had it set on my audiobook, Jean. Well, good evening. We're going to work on a watercolor hair that I'm going to submit for the Prima design team. And I'm going to use some colors from the Woodland set and the Tropicals. I know that. And I'm going to use some of these white die cuts from Joan and some of that paper. It kind of feels like dryer sheet. So I may use some of this in the background, is what I'm thinking about that on the background. Little bit of music paper. I have some napkin that I might use. And then these are the jelly prints that I know I'm going to use. These two right here. And I might use a little bit of this in there. And I might use a little bit of this somewhere. I'm not sure. I kind of like that these two are sort of the reverse of each other. I'm thinking this for the body. So we'll start with the collage part and then we'll get to the watercolor part. So I want this part right here to go down the middle. I'm not going to worry about the sides so much because like I said, I think I'm going to put some of this other paper. But I kind of like these three rings working down, they're way down. Okay. That'll be enough to start that. So we'll see. I may have some other pieces that you can submit more than one. And I may have some other pieces. The problem is they want you to take a picture with the like what palette you used. And while I know I probably used Prima, I don't necessarily know what colors I used on some things. So that's why I thought I would focus on something new. Okay. Get rid of those little scraps over to the side. And I think actually I think I'm going to use the music paper with it. Grab a pencil. And just sort of kind of tear that. And that can go there. Because that'll take, hopefully will take watercolor. It's hard to tell sometimes with old papers because sometimes they have a resistance. Okay, let's glue those there. I'm going to use some more of that later. And I'm just putting the glue on the back of the papers. I don't want to get the glue on the watercolor paper or the top of these papers because I want it to still accept watercolor. I may put some of these circles on here somewhere on the background. I'm not sure, but I think I want to use that napkin. And I may put some of this music paper on the background. I'm not positive. Like I said, I'm not, till we get it going, I'm not made my mind up. I know I want this to be the ears. So I'm just going to cut me a piece. Then I can cut the ears out. I'm going to kind of tear that edge. They'll accept white. That white will accept watercolor. The other little ear. Okay, that works. And I don't think I'll use any more of that. Sometimes that's all that matters, Shauna, is just arting for yourself or, enjoying yourself. It doesn't, you know. Sometimes the sharing can be a chore. or an obligation that kind of takes the fun out of it. Maybe. If it stresses you, and it's time to take a break from it. Or if it's not fun. Okay. I think I'm going to go with the more true brown for the nose. Hmm. Too small. Let's try this again. That's better. Just need to. Put that in there. Okay. Right, we'll take some of this and put the other pieces for the ear. I don't want those lines. Okay, that'll work. And I'm going to flip it because I want it to kind of go, I don't want it in the same direction. I want it in the opposite direction for the lines. Put that on. Alright. Little cheeks. Thinking some of this. Usually what I do is cut and then tear. I don't want to cover the whole area. I just want to get. And that green will make more sense when I'm done, I think. Okay. Let's see. I almost think I like the non-printed, the non-jelly printed side better. You know it? And it'll take that watercolor. Just a little bit more of that. See which one of these fits better. No, I think that one fits better. Get rid of all that little bit. Okay. I think that's all the paper. Might add some napkin edge later on top of something. But let's start with the watercolor. What I'm leaning towards is perhaps there might be like a green. I might need some dots up here or something. But let's watercolor it and see what we decide if we want to do anything over here either. So I'm using a number 12 round, and I am going to start with a yellow from the tropical set. And for those of you watching on YouTube, I have taken all my Primas and separated them by color families, but I still have their original swatch cards, so I know which color I'm using. So I'm going to start with some yellow right here in the center. Because I like the bridge of the nose to be really bright. That a little bit. And then I'm going to go into this number 94 Daylight, which is a really pretty lime green kind of color. I'm going to add that along the sides. Okay. And I'm going to dry that real quick. Yeah, I have a variety. All right, and then I'm going to come back in with a little more of that lime. And dark, getting more of a lime. And then I think I'm going to come in with a little bit more of the yellow. All right, I'm going to come in now with like an olive green. Bring some of that up onto. Before I do that, I think I'm going to put some of this lime in here. All right, then I'm going to go to 16 and the Tropicals, which is a kind of more of an olive tone. Add some of that in there with it. And I'm going to use maybe a little bit of the deep moss. I'll put some water puddle in here. We'll go back to that olive green. I like the blooms. And back to the 104. Blot that. Bring it back in here again. We'll go back with the olive again. And a little bit of the lime. Let that kind of blend in there. And yellow. All right, let's dry that. Alright, let's put, so I'm fairly happy with his face for now. Let's put a little bit of the lime and the olive in here maybe. Maybe a little bit of the deep moss. Alright, let's go back to the yellow. I will say on this vintage paper, it loses some of its vibrancy. On the music paper. Okay. Now let's go to a pink and push in some pink. Magenta kind of. It's number 22 in the Tropicals is the one I'm going to use. And it should make kind of a coral color with some of the yellow. Okay, pull some of that out. Turn it here. Okay. Let's go ahead and kind of like that pink in the middle more. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a little spritz. And then kind of blot it. Let it be darker in some places. It's a 12. It's the one I almost always use. It's a Crafts Etc. brand, which it doesn't exist anymore. I wish I knew who had like made it for them. It's my favorite brush. Hi, CB. So I kind of want a mottled look. Right, I don't like this, so there's a couple options. One is we can add some of this napkin over it. I'm going to try pink first. Let's see, let's try drying that. Thought it was going to be a girl, but it may be a boy. I don't know if he's my favorite bunny or not. I mean, right now it's no. Definitely. Okay, I think I want to try some of this bright orange. Because I've got kind of a coral going. This is 17 from the Tropicals. Oh, I like that. On the edge of the ears. Turn that around there. Kind of soften that. Gives those ears a little more definition. Let's try. Bringing it over to the edge here too. I also like when I'm gonna let the color escape on the edges here of him a little. Bleed out. I think I'll go back to the magenta and let some of that bleed out in a couple places too. Almost like fur. Okay. Dry those. Okay, I do need to. I think the washi tape goes good with them. So I think I may use some washi tape. I'm going to tear it. let's get scissors. If I don't like it, I can always get rid of it. And the angle wasn't cut right. I don't want to use it, but I just think it's going to be more of a torn edge. Yay or nay? Yeah, I think the stripe washi for a bow tie is what I'm thinking. Kind of like the polka dot on his body. It shouldn't be that hard to tear. I think that piece fits more naturally. I think this one needs to be adjusted. That's a little more organic where it came in. And I don't know if I'm going to use these or not. Oh, there's a stupid fly in the room. If I do, I have to find different size ones. I need smaller ones is what I need. I don't think so. I definitely don't want the green. Okay, so let's get rid of that. That's not. Right, we'll need to get a piece of paper to cut bow tie. I want it to be light color if the washi is going to show up. So what I'm thinking is, let me set this aside for a minute. If we cover this paper, maybe we don't want, okay. There's with just the white background. There's on the color. White might be too stark. Think on the color. What I'm thinking about doing is just putting rows of washi and then cutting the tie. Okay. So cut that off. Cut that off. Get rid of that. And I think I'm going to stick just a little bit of glue on the front just to have that little added protection. I need to put a little bit of glue right up here. The paper's lifting. Okay. Okay, that glue's just beating up. Okay, that's about the right width. Usually what I do is I fold it. And then I adjust it as I think I need to adjust it. Okay, I like that more rounded. Okay, so that makes a pretty good bow tie right there. Now I need to add the detail, and I don't know what's gonna. I'm gonna try a pit marker. It's gonna beat up. Oh, I know what I can try. I might have to try a gel pen. Think about where I put all the. I had a purple gel pen. I don't know where they ended up in the Great Studio Move. There they are. That's not working either. Let's try a micron pen. That works. I just have to deal with the black. All right, we'll add more detail to that later. Let's put the. Oh, let me peel that washi on the back. Or it's not going to want to glue down on those corners. Now that might change what I pulled for the background. Might influence. What I chose is a little girly. I think we're done with the watercolors. Set those aside so I can pull them out when I take the picture. We need to put white paint in that eye and let it dry. I just want to cover over some of that watercolor. Let that dry. We're not done with the watercolor. Actually, we have to do the background. What I had pulled out was some flourishes. And I had pulled out something that had more of a floral. But what I'm wondering is, should we use the gears? Because he's a boy. So what I'm going to do is do the background in watercolor, and then I thought we'd drop some of these in there to make, I mean, I like the flourish, but, and the other thing is, do we want to mess with this? See, it won't tear. I almost think it's going to need to go on a project like on a canvas all the way across the top. Like I might do a pour and then put this on it and do something. I'm thinking this needs to not, because it's too fabric-like. So I think we'll have to get rid of that. And Bunny had pink eye a little bit, yeah, but he won't eventually. Okay, there's gears. There's some gear pieces. There's a hat. I think I might somehow use that hat. I'm just not positive. And the hat has gears. It takes a lot of the... Harry Houdini. I like that, Jean. Or steampunk something. Do we like the hat? The hat, okay, we keep the hat. Alright. So what color, and then we'll put some gears on the background. So the hat and this will stay white. That comes later. What color do we want to put in the background? Do we want like a blue? I'm kind of leaning towards this stream. Just a blue. I like to do the eyes and the pit markers. actually put a little bit of water on there. I want to lift some of that. You're going to want to use a lighter color in there. I'm going to go work on the nose too while I'm at it. Now I do not have gel medium on the top here, so I can't drag it a whole lot. I'm just kind of defining the edges. A little bit of water on there. And I'm going to get a little black. Add the black into the eye. We'll let that all dry. Yeah, I mean we'll determine the hat later. Let me get the blues out because that's where that stream is. It's number 90. It's part of the woodland set. Okay, so that one right there. And I tend to turn it upside down when I do the backgrounds. There's also a color called Mist that might have been pretty, but I think it's too turquoise. Okay, and I like to blot and get a texture. Kind of like the sky. Okay. Working my way around. Okay, now I'm going to come in and put some bloom areas. That are darker. I think. Now, not all of this will show up in the, because it'll be matted. Alright, so let's see. Let's dry that real quick. Kind of make it look like the sky. And we might not want the gears. We might want the hat and nothing else. Okay. If we use the hat, we might put a piece of washi on it. Now, I'll have to put the eyelashes on first. I'm leaning towards, if I keep the hat, keep it white. I'm not sure about gears in the background. It may be too busy, too much. I'm going to just cut that one. If I use them, I'll probably cut lean the hat to one side, more rakish. Like over one eye, kind of. Maybe even covering up partially covering up an eye. Gears, yeah, like he's tipping his hat. I think gears are a no. Let's get the mat and see. Well, I can't make the hat smaller, Jean. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the gears. I think they're too busy. But let's try. I might like some of the flourishes and no hat. I think the hat does distract too much. If I had like cut, if the hat, like if the ears came through part of the hat, then, you know, like if I planned it where the ear could, I think the hat's a no. I think you're right, Jean. I think it's better without the hat. I think if I planned the hat ahead of time and could tuck an ear out of the hat somehow. I kind of like the flourishes though. Yeah, I'd have to plan for it when I started. So do we like the flourishes on there? Can you even see them? Yeah, I kind of like the flourishes. It gives something in the background of interest. So I think I'm going to use those. The fly is driving me nuts. These eyelashes and highlight in his eye. Let me put this stuff away so it doesn't get torn up or dirty or lost. Throw trash away. Okay, let's move the mat. I'm going to try this glue pen that Sandra gave me. But I don't know. It's really sticky. I'm going to go over it with some gel medium. It won't matter for the background. Let's just do that because I don't feel like I'm getting good adhesion. I really kind of need that anyways for where the eyelashes go. I like the pen to slide. Okay. Trying to make the end of it. Tuck under something under the frame or can stick a little of that glue on that washi too. As long as I stay out of the green area, I'll be fine as far as not polluting the colors. Okay. Now I'll hit where the green is a little bit. And just not go into the blue. Might as well come down here and finish coating him. All right, let's let them dry and then we'll do the eyelashes. Put that brush up. And keep the fly out of it. Okay, let me find mine. That's the one I want. Alright, so I'm just going to put a little start of a eyelash with the pit pen. And then I'm going to go in with the micron to number 5. Let me get a wet wipe. Okay, you have a little bit of time. Let me zoom the camera in a little bit. I know it's dark where his eyes are, so it's hard to see. Oh my gosh, Gene, I didn't know that. Okay, I got more black than I want right here. So I'm going to take it off. I can take it off still if I act fast. Okay, come down this bottom line. All right, now I'm going to go to the smaller pen and do some finer lines. Okay. That gives him some eyelashes. Yeah, I'm going to come back in with this black and just kind of blacken up the center of his eyes a little bit. And I'm going to come in with the green pip pen, kind of give him a little bit of definition on this side, on the cheeks, and kind of around the bottom, because that kind of got lost. And there's a little spot here to stick a piece of coral in there and just kind of make it disappear behind his bow tie. And then I'm going to just darken that edge on here and on the ear. Okay. I think that kind of helped define those areas. You need to give them a little white spot. Oh, I didn't like that one. All right, I'll let those dry, and then I'll kind of touch them up around with the black and narrow them down. But other than that, I think he's done. Hi, Ange. Okay. More of an arc in there. Oh, I need to work on this one a little bit. All right, let me dry that real quick. All right, it's a little bit more of an arc on that one eye. It's not perfect. So let's back out the camera. And we'll get the tape. I don't know, is he Harry Houdini anymore? used the name Harry before. So all we have left to do is we're going to put him in the mat and we're going to name him. I got to sign it. I have flourishes where I usually sign. And write the name. Okay, let me turn him over and tape him. And then we'll come back and add the name. Yeah, the Harry Houdini feel was more before the flourishes. I know, we're going to give him a name that has something to do with Prima and the watercolors. Okay, so we used the tropicals and we used the woodland. So we could call him Woody, but he's not really woody. He's more tropical. I'm going to sign it right here. In white. I'm wondering, should we name him like Peter Prima? Prima Peter? No. David Bowie. I like that. Does everybody agree? Could be Oliver. Well, now remember, I'm gonna enter this in the Prima design team. Okay. Do we care if I make it Davy Bowie or should I stick with David? It does have music on it. It's not rock and roll, it's Hawaiian music. Could just put Mr. Bowie and not put any first name. But I kind of like first names. Okay, we'll do David Bowie. Mm. All right, David Bowie. So I use the woodlands and the tropicals. I'll put the pans out and I'll take a picture and then I can submit it. So I can take a picture, sort of something like that. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Put in a little dark area, like that. I don't know if I like the name in white paint pen. I think I'm gonna go over it in black. All right, I think he's done. Let me stop the recording. Let me back out the camera. I'm gonna actually get out the paint pans before I stop the recording. So we need that yellow. Nothing out of there. So the tropical was in the yellow. And we used the stream from here. And we used the magenta from the tropical. And I used the daylight from the woodlands. Use that green, that daylight. So I used 3 from each set. So that should work for a picture for it. And then I'll submit it. It's got a hashtag. All right, let me stop the recording.